Hey, how are you? This is Rick Tennessee Homestead. Wanted to show you the rest of our technique, our system that we use for running chickens through um, our system here. As I showed you in an earlier video, we use this high-tech cardboard box, specially designed for baby chicks, manufactured by Cub Cadet, otherwise known as the lawnmower box. Works out great. It's tall enough to where it takes them a while before they're trying to jump out, but inevitably they're going to start trying to jump out. So from there, once they get up to where they're exploring escape routes, we move them over into a wooden box that is kind of escape-proof for them. And we put them in here, and we have a brooder light, which right now is just laying down there, because I don't know that this hatch we've got underway is going to be successful, primarily because of the heat. Yeah. You can listen to the barn chat for today that pretty much tells a story on that. But anyway, they go into here until they start getting feathered out. Once they're gotten up in size a little bit and feathered out, depending on what they are and what they're going to be used for, they will either go into what I would call a grow-out pen / breeder pen. Kind of serves dual purpose right now. We're using it as a grow-out pen for these chickens. The Americanas will eventually, once we pick through and decide who our breeders are going to be, looking at the genetics of them, how they produce, find a rooster that's got a good disposition, takes good care of the hens, things of this nature. And we keep them in here for a while. So let them get grown out, let them get feathered out, and start looking at dispositions and abilities. These buffs that we have in here, as soon as they get a little bit more size on them, they're going to probably go into the main coop with the main flock, which is fine and dandy. I just don't like putting smaller birds in with the adult birds, because it creates a lot of stress on the younger birds, because they're busy being chased around and pecked at and things of that nature. So we try to let them get up in size before that happens. For anybody who has never seen this before, I'm going to try to zoom in here a little bit. And just walk away now. Hide your face. There you go. You're not going to make much of a movie star like that. This is a panning chicken. When you see them doing what they're doing there, mouth open, so forth, these chickens are hot. No ifs, ands, buts, or maybes. They are warm birds. When you see your chickens like this, folks, make sure that you're keeping plenty of cold water available to them. This is their second round of cold water, and I'm going to bring them back some cold water here in a little bit. Probably throw a few ice cubes in it to help keep it cooler. And, watch chickens in hot weather. I cover that a little more in my barn chat for Monday barn chat. But anyway, these girls will be going over, and I'm hoping that I got one guy here. It was a straight run. We should have got some roos out of it, but it looks like they're all hens except for maybe one. But these come out of a very good line of Buff Orpingtons, and we were kind of looking forward to starting a pure line of them again, since we had lost our Buff Orpington rooster a while back. Lost him to a predator, but got to say he was defending his flock, so he was doing what he what he was supposed to do. But we're kind of hoping to get a roo out of this mess. So, but you'll find chickens pretty much are, you know, bedded down in dirt, which is one of the things I like about having a dirt floor in the coop. They're not taking dirt baths, folks. They're just trying to dig down and get in the dirt and stay cool. So, you know, oh, I got one little girl over here that may be trying to get her dirt bath in, and everybody's crowding in on her. But this is where they'll go next, either into a grow-out pen. You know, the little ones don't stay in here long. Because what we want to do, and I'll take you over there and hopefully not jostle you around too much, but what we try to do is get them outside so that they can start developing their abilities to eat grass and scratch and peck and find bugs and, you know, all those little things that chickens do. So, like this group here, which will probably all run away, they are out here. They stay out here. I keep them close to the patio where the dogs sleep. That way nothing gets in at them. But you know, they'll be here until they get some size to them, and then we'll be moving them on into the summer coop. The summer coop is usually the last place we move the birds to before transporting them to sale. Now this group of little guys, get around here where you can maybe see them a little better as they run away. This little group of guys here, they were at the market. We got rained out, and this was what was left, so we're going to go ahead and grow these out. Probably add a few of the hens to our main coop, and but it looks like I got just a whole pile of roos in there, and so they're going to be destined for the freezer, I think. But it looks like we got a few hens. But yeah, especially that little one right there. She's a black copper Moran Buff Orpington mix. I was kind of wanting to keep at least one of them in the flock so that I could see how they turn out and what kind of producers they are, and eggs and so forth. But most of the roos will end up getting culled out. Now, from here, let me stroll you around. And folks, I cannot see this screen at all, so I have no idea in the world what I'm shooting. You may be looking at the tips of my shoes as far as I know. But, yes, me and my high-tech camera equipment. Cheap little LG telephone, but, you know, you go with what you got, you know what I'm saying? I want to go over here and, man, horseflies are terrible this year. Take you over here and introduce you to my high-tech ditch cleaner. This one is steadily trying to clear the ditch. Does a good job. There you are. How you doing? Got water? You got water? Yeah, you got full water. You're good. Yeah, how are you, baby? Anyway. Yeah, she does a pretty good job with it. She had a passerby not realize that her tether only lets her go to the edge of the road, that I guess she panicked him because she was alongside the road there. But, yeah, she's busy cleaning the weeds, and she does a pretty good job. She got about another week here. She'll clean both sides of this and even eat the stubble, and then we'll move her down. It works. I mean, you know, I can be busy buying feed and hay, or I can let her eat weeds. This here's our summer coop, and lovingly called so because it is actually all heavy wire, and it's on a concrete floor with a concrete footing, so it's pretty secure. And right now we have cuckoo Marans over here. I love these birds. They really live up to their name. Little nuts, but pretty cute birds. Sometimes can be very friendly. Sometimes can act like carry on like you came over here to cut off their heads. But anyway, they're a good bird. I think we've got one roux in this mix. Hopefully so anyway, otherwise we're going to be going out buying a rooster. This little girl over here, my buddy, she, as you can see, she walks a little funny. The store gave me her because they were going to throw her in the trash can because somebody had set a water down on top of her when she first got into the store as a chick, and needless to say, really kind of screwed up her legs. As you can see, she walks a little funny. But she scratches, she pecks, she forages, she does just fine. So we'll probably have her join the main flock whenever she gets a little bigger. Anyway, the summer coop, as I said, it's mainly just wire. I do have to take these fiberglass panels down. We put those up in the fall to block off some of the north winds and rain and so forth, to keep it a little warmer in here for them. But realistically, in the summertime, this is nice. It's right underneath a big shade tree. It stays pretty comfy over in here. As you can see from most of the birds, very few of them are doing any panning or anything, because it's not too bad over here. So anyway, and so when we're moving chickens through the system to take them to market, this will be their last stop. And we put them in here for a couple of reasons. Young birds don't like to venture very far from their coop at all, unless you got them out free ranging every day for long periods of time, and they'll get a little bolder. But if you let them out, like these girls here, I'll probably let them out of the coop about 5, 6 o'clock once they get a lot of shade out on the ground over here, so they can get out and get some bugs and some grass and have a good time. Then probably tomorrow at about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, I'll let them out again for a few hours. You kind of limit the amount of time that they're out free ranging, but they always come back in the evening, settle in their perch, and life is good. And there's times if I'm know I'm not going to be tied up doing stuff, I'll go ahead and this is what I hope to be our little roux. He's sure taking on the look of one, but I'm not real familiar with this breed, so it could very well be a hen. And I may end up looking around for a cuckoo Moran rooster. But anyway, they do real good over here. It's a nice shady area, nice cool area, and they get a chance to get out and start doing some free ranging, which will start happening for them today, which I'm really looking forward to, because these poor birds didn't get in the tractor. So they have been pinned up most all of their life, other than we've taken them out in the yard a couple of times and turned them loose and let them do a little scratching and pecking right before roosting time. So hopefully they enjoy themselves, and they'll stay over here until we decide which ones we're going to put into a breeding pen and which ones go back into the main flock. And as you can see, these girls are going, man, there's green stuff out there, let us go. So they keep it pretty pick clean close to the wire. So they're going to get out of here in about an hour or two and be allowed to run amok, and they can go over and chase the goat, and the goat can chase them, and life will be good. But this is where we normally bring chicks that are going to market, chickens that are going to market. It works out real well. As you can see, it's not a huge enclosure, but it's not bad size. You can put 20 birds in here, and they got room to still run around and play a little bit. But the main thing is when you close it up and it's time to load up chickens to take to market, as you can see, there's not a lot of things like nesting boxes and so forth that's going to get in your way. This little girl here, you can just tap her on the head a couple of times and she'll walk right into a cage for you. And then I've got another little one, and I think it's her right there. She had a little problem with, she was in a temporary pen and it didn't go up very high, and she liked roosting really high. So when she would try to fly down off her roost in the mornings, she would actually fly over the fence and be on the outside of the pen. So at first, the first couple of times it was kind of an adventure getting her back in, but we finally came to a situation to where when I'd go out there in the morning and she'd be outside the pen, all I'd have to do is open up the pen door and she would just wander her way back in, She knew the routine. She'd be standing there by the gate. So, quite the buddy of mine. She's a pretty good little girl. But yeah, they're looking forward to getting out and hearing let a little more shade get on the ground over here to where they got some room to go do some hunting and pecking, and I'll be turning them loose and letting them get out there and do their thing. So this will be their first day out getting to really free range. I'm hoping that they have enough sense to come back into the coop, although a lot of times, because the thing is all wire, a lot of times, the first couple of times they go out, I'll have about half of the group come in and roost on the roosts, and then the other ones are standing out here in the grass crying because they can't figure out how to get on the roost. And you got to kind of herd them back around to the door, and that sometimes takes a couple of trips like that, and then they catch on to it. After that, then they become old pros. So I figure this would be a good time to get them started and let them get out there. And here again, that's part of that. You've heard me talk a lot about my $25 water feeder deal that I bought off a guy. This is part of it, folks. And that feeder right there sells for over $25 bucks. So and I had a couple of things to fix on it, but once I did that, it's worked out just beautifully. So look around, save money. But yeah, this is where they normally would come right before sale. This is the last stop. We let them finish growing out over here, the birds that are going to market, and just kind of let them get a little free range again, and let them enjoy their life a little bit, and then take them to market. Because it's we try to make the chickens' life, even the ones that we're selling at market, we try to make it as good for them as possible while they're here. This little girl here, yeah, she was destined for the dumpster. They were just going to bag her up and throw her away. And one of the managers came and asked me, you want to try doing something with that chicken? It's like, yeah, why not? And it's turned out okay. She functions. So, but like I said, she's a little funny to watch walk, but I got to be honest with you. If she decides she's going to run, she'll keep up with any chicken out there. So I figure in the main flock she ought to do okay. A little red sex link. Yes, you're a movie star, dear. Yes, you are. You're a good bird. Yep, you're my buddy. So yeah, she gets up on the roost. She doesn't have any problems at all. She'll scratch, she'll peck, she does her little business, and I'm quite impressed with her. And here, like I said, I'm going to come back over here in about an hour and let them experience free ranging, and I'm sure she'll have a ball with it. Anyway, that's the way we process them, folks. We take them from the incubator into a small brooder box, move them from a brooder box into a bigger brooder box, let them grow out some, get feathers. Either take them into a grow-out pen in the barn or put them in a tractor and let them do their thing. And then from the tractor, they come over here to the summer coop and finish their grow-out, and then move on into, if they're birds that are going to be on the market, then we'll take them into the farmer's market or sell them out of here. Now, there is a plan. Let me take you over to that. Over here, you'll see this is a large building. Right now, it is a garage. Eventually, as you can see, all these stalls and so forth back here. And Jim, here's another one for Rich's mess. This is where I hide a lot of my mess, by the way, Jim. I take and I stick it in here. Like those cabinets there, they're going into the garage. I've got some of them already hung, but it's kind of one of those do it as you have a chance. There's storage tanks for our soon-to-be installed water storage system, where we're going to take rainwater runoff and start saving that for irrigation, watering chickens, things of this nature. Let's see, we got some pallets sitting over there that are going to be turned into goat stalls, extra fence posts. I store my little tractor over here. Got a few implements for it sitting around, things of this nature. But eventually we're going to clean this out and probably put like feed storage and so forth in the upper level. And then down low we're going to have our chicken pens. And at that point in time, we're thinking about utilizing this larger area here as one big pen for chickens that we'll be selling. And that way we'll have a one-stop shop, and you know, when people ask what chickens do you have for sale, we can point them right here. And it'll also be nice because we can add some outside runs. This side over here, our plan is going to be to, along the creek here, one of the reasons we've got the goat out clearing is we're going to put poultry netting along the creek and back behind those fruit trees there, and let the birds be able to get over here and they can just free range, because we won't have to worry about them getting in gardens. And so that'll help, you know, give the birds a chance to stay outside. We really like free ranging our birds. It's one of those things, folks. A happy chicken is a productive chicken, and free ranging makes those chickens very happy. So anyway, Jim, there's the rest of my mess. I showed you the barn and my barn chat. This is where I hide trash. At least my neighbors don't have to look at it. That's the important part. When they're driving up and down the road, it's all kind of tucked away. So anyway, that I have to get fixed. Carburetor, I think, has went bad on that thing, and I use that a lot. That's one of those little string trimmers, and man, those things are great for clearing out fence rows. I really love it. I've got to get that going. So anyway, another project. All right. So that's what we got here, and this is going to eventually become the main chicken area, I guess you'd say. We had looked at doing more conversions on the small barn over there, and really decided that we wanted to kind of keep that as for calving and utilize this area over here. Where this old barn is at that we're taking down, we're going to put a greenhouse, and that'll be winter homes for the chickens, where they can go in there and be nice and comfy and warm, and life will be good. So that's some of the projects underway. This big monstrosity sitting out here. Yeah, there you go. This thing here is going to be, I flipped it over the other day to start nailing some boards down on the bottom that it all come loose. This is going to be covered in tin and some metal roofing and become a goat house that goes out in pasture. Wooden crate, folks, shipping crate. I think they shipped a riding lawnmower in it. A lot of places give these away if you just ask. So you might ask. And this one is actually in rough shape compared to a lot of them you run across. But you're talking about throwing, I'm going to take some of the tin off of that roof over there and tin this thing up so that, make a nice little goat house. Anyway, that's what's going on down here. That should wrap up how we process the chickens through the system. Right now, that little pin you see over there is the last step before they go on the trailer and head off to market. So eventually, where we have junk and trailer sitting, that is going to be our sales pen. I never expected to see a huge amount of farm sales. I never expected that. And it seems like here of late, we have been doing a lot more as far as on-farm sales, which I have no problem with. If I could get rid of all my birds and never have to, drive down to the market and set up and go through all that nonsense, that'd be a good thing. And it's, I would say right now we're at about 50-50 between on-site sales and market sales. So hopefully if we can increase that on-site sales, then we can cut back a little bit on the farmers markets and just use the farmers markets when we're marketing our produce and so forth. So that's the plan. But you know how that goes. Best laid plans of mice and men are always subject to change. Okay, this is Rich from Tennessee Homestead. Now you've seen it. This is how we take our chickens from egg to market. This isn't a perfected system yet, but it's what we're doing down here, and so far this year it has worked well. We have moved a lot of chickens through the system. Matter of fact, I was amazed at the amount of chickens that we were able to sell this year. I was wringing my hands about, I'm going to be culling chickens for 2 months here because I really didn't expect to sell nearly as many birds as what we did. But there's a big demand for quality birds, and it's not a bad thing. So anyway, that's what we're doing. Always open to suggestions. You got a good comment on how I can change things to improve them a little bit, because I really need to streamline them, and that's part of the reason of bringing the whole operation over here, because I spend a lot of time running around taking care of chickens, and I would sure like to reduce that down some, and still give them some freedom and make sure they've got a good life going on. So anyway, that's all from here. That should pretty much sum up how things go. There's no point in showing, there's the trailer I use on the back of the truck, and dog pens. And a funny thing, last time at market, I had built a large crate. I think there's a portion of it out there on the video that I could put about 20 birds in and set it in the base of this trailer here. And last time at market, a fella came up and asked, if he could buy all of them that were in there. And I said, well, of course. And he was running around trying to find some way to transport all those birds home. And when he told me that, I said, well, tell you what, if you're going to buy them all, I said, I'm not into this cage more than about $5. I said, you wanna give me $5 for the cage? We'll just load the cage in the back of your pickup truck. And that is what we did. So, it works. And the summer coop works out good, as you can see by the size of it. When you got to get in there and pick your birds up to load them up into cages, it's a very confined area that you can get a hold of the birds. You just take the feeder and water out of it so they're not using those for cover, and go in and start gathering up birds. So anyway, this is Rich from Tennessee Homestead. I hope this helps some people out that are thinking about doing some of this, and who knows, maybe some of you expert out there can throw some tips my way. Okay, y'all have a great day. Bye.